there's no sacrifices made, and it's actually such a self-centered mindset. You as an individual are a little piece in a very big world. God himself is not going to come down, he's going to send people to you, so you cannot be self-sufficient. If somebody that you truly love and care about has hurt your feelings, don't just ignore them, don't just start moving weird. You're an adult, come on. Welcome to the Mo Chunk Show. So today's video we're going to be talking about something that I am all too familiar with. Yes, we're going to be talking about dealing with disappointment in life, friendships and relationships. So stay tuned and enjoy. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to define disappointment, and I've quickly just done a Google search and I found that it says disappointment is a sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes and expectations. And that makes a lot of sense actually, because in a lot of the notes that I made, the first thing I said I wanted to talk about was why do we get disappointed. And I think one of the biggest reasons why people get disappointed in life is that we sometimes expect, I don't want to say too much, but just that expectancy in general from people and from things and from situations. When it starts to manifest, it doesn't match up or align to the plans that we had in our heads. We get disappointed real quick. I'm gonna give you a bit of an example of that one. So imagine if you are a graduate, or even just somebody that's anybody really looking for a job, and you have an expectation that you will get this job because you have all the credentials, you have all the things that they require of a successful candidate. You have the grades, you have the work experience, and you go to the interview and you sort of expect that they're going to give you the job. Life doesn't always work out like that, in the sense that there are other people that might be better suited to that role, or it might not be your time yet to be in that particular job. Maybe there's still a process that you might have to go through in a lower job before you get the higher job. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't know how they say if you think it, you can become it kind of thing. Yes, that's amazing, that's good. But I think it's also very important to have an open mind in this life, that sometimes life will redirect you to where you're actually meant to be. And that might look like a disappointment, but it's actually a blessing in disguise. Another reason why people get disappointed, some of us, we are perfectionists. This is something that I struggle with. I plan everything. I literally have a schedule from when I'm going to wake up to when I'm going to sleep, and I try to follow that schedule, and it's great to be organized and everything, but I think there's just some things in life that you have to just let flow. The problem with perfectionists is that they often project their perfectionism onto other people. Just think of a scenario as to whereby maybe a friend disappoints you. Maybe a friend was meant to come with you somewhere, or a friend was meant to be at an event, or a friend doesn't show up to your birthday. How about that? Everyone knows about that disappointment. A friend does not show up to your birthday. It happens all the time. People would rather spend time on Twitter than go and spend time with their friends. No shade. With me, especially when I hear things like, oh, I didn't plan it in time, I just cannot fathom how you would not be able to plan your time well to be able to arrive at this event for this day or on time. So because of my perfectionism, I kind of expect other people to do the same. And what you've got to understand is that people are different and people are very flawed. So organization might be their flaw, but that doesn't mean that we should use it against them, or for that reason cut them off as our friends. And the thing actually about our generation is that we're a very like cutty off generation. And it's like every time someone does you wrong or does something wrong to you, you believe the friendship is over. There's no rekindling, there's no sacrifices made, there's no fighting for your friendship. And I feel like that is such a poor mindset, and it's actually such a self-centered mindset, because in that moment you are believing that the world revolves around you, and everything that people do, they're going out to hurt you. And trust me, again, that was me. I used to be the kind of person that would take every little thing so personally, and everything that someone does to me, oh my god, they did that purposefully to hurt me. And 9 times out of 10 that is not the case. I think a really great quote that I heard from Iyanla Vanzant, because I used to be a very big overthinker. Even till today I still overthink sometimes, but I'm trying to tame it. And what she said that kind of put things in perspective for me was that you as an individual are a little piece in a very big world. And the moment you understand that concept is the moment you stop taking everything so personally. We get disappointed a lot because we do not put ourselves in other people's shoes. Okay, yeah, somebody might have given you a rubbish excuse, but maybe they were just not able to understand the concept of telling the truth in every situation. I'm the kind of person that I would rather you tell me the truth and hurt me rather than lie to try and protect my feelings. But again, not everybody will think the same as me. Some people might think, oh, let me not hurt her feelings. Let me just say, oh, I had coursework. Meanwhile, I might be having financial issues, and that's why I was not able to show up to your event, or that's why I was not able to come. And a lot of people have a lot of pride and won't necessarily want to admit that there might be actually something going on in that person's life that it's out of their control right now, but they are not quite ready to share it with you yet. Now, taking that next level up, I think perfectionism, quite a human concept, physical concept. You get what I'm saying in a second. Basically, I'm taking it up to the next level in terms of like Christianity and spiritual life. I feel like you guys all know I'm a Christian, and I feel like a lot of Christians can probably relate to this. It's a thing where like you are so busy growing in Christ and so busy getting to know God, and you're starting to be amazed. Stand amazed in your presence, there is nothing you cannot do. So you start being amazed by the splendor, the majesty of his being, the perfection of his being. He's the only God that does not disappoint, is right on time. He's the only God that does not go out of his way to hurt your feelings. He's just a perfect God. He's always thinking about you. Do you understand? So I feel like when we get to that stage where we are so close to God, sometimes it can actually be detrimental on our human relationships, because we try to sometimes subconsciously we compare a perfect God to imperfect people. People are flawed. There's no amount of good you can put into this world that's going to guarantee you or make you immune to bad from other people. Sometimes bad things will even happen to you to test how good of a person you really are. It's like, will you come out of character? Then you've got to question yourself and ask yourself, are you really a good person? I think somebody was tweeting the other day, actually, godly men, you might get into a relationship with them and they can still hurt you. And sometimes because we place them on a pedestal because of the godliness that they carry, it hurts even more because you're like, whoa, how could you do that to me? But you've got to understand that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. We're going to make mistakes. So let's stop putting people on a pedestal and let's stop putting people on God's pedestal. Another thing that people often project that gets them disappointed a lot is projecting your heart onto other people. And when you are a good person, like I mentioned, does not guarantee that you're always going to get good back. I say this in a sense that you might not get good back immediately or directly from the direction that you have poured out the good. You might meet like somebody that just decides to give you £1,000, I don't know, and that's because you borrowed your friend £10 whilst you didn't have a lot, but because you knew they were in a financial crisis. Don't expect directly back from the person. Think of it like you are putting goodness into a pot. Now I'm going to talk to you about how to actually deal with disappointment in a very healthy manner. I used to think I was dealing with disappointment from my whole childhood, my teenagehood, yeah, lots of disappointments, especially with friendships. And when you have a good heart, trust me, a lot of the time you will get disappointed in this life. One thing I realized as I started to grow in Christ, grow as a woman in general, I think when I hit 21, something just changed. But as I started to mature, I realized that a lot of the things that I used to think I was over, I wasn't actually over them. And that's why someone who is actually a good person might do something very small, but because in my head, subconsciously, it resembles a past experience, a past disappointment, I blow up. I had to sit down for a second and be like, wait, why am I fighting people that love me? And the simple answer was that I was still subconsciously battling with the people that I had disappointments with in the past, and because I brushed them off rather than dealing with it, it would manifest in new relationships. There was a guy I was dating actually, and like a great guy. Because of things that happened between me and my ex, I was sort of like very jittery, and I think I mentioned in 14 Days of Love, once God has given you the go ahead, you don't have to feel like you don't have to allow your anxiety to ruin something good that could possibly be good. Scenarios that were reminding me of what my ex did. Because of that, I kind of blew up, and he wouldn't really understand, like, this is not a big deal, but in the back of my mind, in my subconscious, this is a big deal because I hadn't actually completely closed that chapter of my life. You know, sometimes you feel like you're over it, genuinely in your mind and in your soul, you feel like you're over it, but it's not until you experience something new that reminds you of it, like, oh, I think the first step to healthily deal with disappointments is to truly release and let go of it. And I'm a very big believer in the type of energy you allow into your system. You cannot control what comes to you, but you can control what you absorb. Slight but key difference. So if there's bad energy passing you, if there's good energy passing you, you can tell I watch a lot of Oprah, right? There's good energy passing you. It is your responsibility to decide what you allow to come in. I accept that you've hurt me, but you know what? I'm going to let this pass. That's not brushing it off, because brushing it off means sometimes you're still in denial about what's happened. You're still making up stories in your head as to why this happened. Come back to earth, come back to reality. This is what happened. I'm going to accept it, but I'm going to release it back out into the universe. I'm going to let it go. And honestly, that changed my life. You have to kind of remind yourself that it's not a big deal. Remember, little piece in a very big world. Another way to deal with disappointment is to actually avoid it, especially with like friendships. One thing I've always said, or I've always held on to, is that in this life you cannot be self-sufficient. Yes, God will help you and God will bring favor to you, but God himself is not going to come down. He's going to send people to you, so you cannot be self-sufficient. No man is an island. You're going to need people. You're going to need to learn how to trust it. As you get wiser, as you get more mature, what you realize is that you can trust, but with caution. So really learn how to like study people, really learn how to tell people things without telling them all of it, if that makes sense. Be private but not secretive. In that way you're protecting yourself, but you're not hiding yourself away from the help that could come to you as well. My mom, something she's always like honed into me is that do not rely solely and completely on people. Whilst I say you are not self-sufficient, I believe you should be content enough that you are happy by yourself, but the goodness that comes from other people is a supplement or just a little bit of extra. In a case where they do disappoint you, you are whole enough to move on in a healthy manner. You are not damaged, you are not broken. Take it to God. The way I see God, I respect him as a father, a heavenly father, but I have conversations with him sometimes in my bed. God, you know what, today was really bad. I don't like what happened there. And sometimes it's not like necessarily that you hear a voice back, but you almost feel his presence. That is very, very comforting. Communication, especially with friendships and relationships. A lot of people don't know how to communicate these days because we're making a lot of Wi-Fi connections, but we're not making any physical connections anymore. We spend so much time on Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram and all of that kind of stuff that we are not actually enjoying each other's companies anymore, and we don't actually value each other as people anymore. And I feel like that is why people are so quick to cut off, oh well, my internet friends are there, I can still talk to them. If somebody that you truly love and care about has hurt your feelings, don't just ignore them. Don't just start moving weird. You're an adult, come on. You can talk. It's only babies that do that, and that's because they're very limited in their speech. Just let them know, do you know what, I love you. You always have to remind people that, but what you did right there really hurt me, and I really hope we can move forward from it, and I really hope you will not treat me like that again. Shikna, simple. And if that person is sensible enough and they care and value you as a person as well, they will be very understanding of that and they will try to shift. When you're dating, keep it in mind that nobody is perfect. Nobody is going to do exactly the things you want them to do and in the way you want them to do it. But give credit to the person that tried. People tend to get disappointments when like a dating relationship does not work out or you don't go past the talking stage. One thing I've realized, I date with the idea of getting married to the person eventually. Something that we forget is that marriage is forever and you want to ultimately end up with the right person for you that's going to shape your future as well. It's better to know now that it's a no rather than 20 years down the line and you get divorced and realize that, oh, I should have never done this. So when you find out that, okay, we're not quite as compatible as I thought we were, the quicker I let you go, the quicker I can allow the yes in. So think of it like that. When a relationship doesn't work out or when you date someone and it doesn't work out, it's not always a bad thing. And final thing, guys, as you continue to make connections with people, be it in a romantic setting, in a platonic setting, you need to try to love unconditionally. It's very, very hard and it's definitely one of the biggest like character molders, but I believe all you need is love. Once you learn to love people despite disappointment, you will find that it's easier for you to let things go. kind of reminds me of a quote by TD Jakes actually, where he was like, if you cannot love flawed people, you will end up by yourself. And it makes so much sense once you cut off left, right, center, up, because people will always do you wrong. I'm telling you that now, and you're gonna have to forgive. I feel like that's all I have on my notes. If you guys have any questions or any comments, actually make sure you comment down below and let me know what you are thinking. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like this video if you liked it, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to my channel for more. Until next time, peace and love, peace and chunks.